Teofimo Lopez versus Vasyl Lomachenko in a unification is now under serious doubts as they are far apart in money. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Bad news for Top Rank and fans alike who are looking forward to Teofimo versus Lomachenko this year. They have reached a snag and a potential breaking point in the fight. But before I get into that, use the link in the description. It's lit 2020, pandemic or not. I got the illest content for y'all. Representing California, Bay Area. Hit the Patreon link or the YouTube join button to become a YouTube channel member. We having fun with the game. Now, back to Lomachenko. The Athletic has reported that Teofimo Lopez was offered $1.2 million for an October 3rd fight, a lightweight title fight against Lomachenko. He's seeking far more money, and now the fight is in jeopardy, the tweet says. Lomachenko accepted a package in excess of $3.25 million, right? The Athletic goes on to say, with the proposed date a little over 60 days away, Teofimo is resigned to defending his title against a different opponent altogether. Per sources, can the fight be salvaged? The pandemic has been rough. It's been rougher for certain people. Ego Stradamus strikes again. Listen, there's a deliberate reason why on my channel I have not made too much videos about this fight, because listen, we're entering an era of boxing with social media and the abundance of it, how easy it is to transfer information with tablets, mobile devices, Instagrams and social media platforms and whatnot, where boxing is becoming almost a circus, and it's making it hard for other sports or for boxing to be comparable and looked at as other sports, because it's just too much stuff. Like, you have a lot of promoters who are putting out certain things with certain moles in the media to throw the dogs off the scent and change the narrative of what's being discussed. These different types of things, these little bait and switch fights aren't getting made. There's no governing body. You can take a fight and someone doesn't do a drug test and then move it to a different state. Just various things like that. And it needs order because it becomes cumbersome. But there's a lot that goes out in the media. Somebody will, it doesn't even have to be in this day and age. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a person that like a credible site. And no credibility, they'll tweet Deontay Wilder has accepted step aside money, and people will run with that, say, oh, Wilder doesn't want to fight Fury. And it's just like, where'd you get that from? No interview from Wilder, nothing quoted from him, nothing from his team, etc. That's why Teofimo versus Lomachenko, it's an excellent fight. I've always said that, but I kept it real and I kept it the same. Boxing, I'm taking it back. If you follow my channel for a couple years, you'll know I've been big on this saying, LSI, let's see it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to belabor the point. I don't want to talk about a bunch of what ifs. If you can make the fight, make the fight. But this is why I chose, and I have been choosing, the higher road of not overly engaging in certain conversations. Certain things don't look to be, especially in the pandemic, like it's going to be realistic. If Ryan Garcia, he's allegedly fighting Luke Campbell, Golden Boy hasn't announced it, DAZN hasn't announced it, but Ryan announced it on his personal page. So I'm not going to go overboard and promote Ryan Garcia when he calls out Gervonta Davis, because your own promotion hasn't even sold up the Luke Campbell fight. Same thing with Teofimo. Why would I bombard you guys, the fans, with a heap of videos from Teofimo? Like, there's a lot of people who they kept saying there's no progress, but they just keep rehashing and repurposing the same information. Hey, Teofimo and Lomachenko are looking to fight. Then it'll say they're looking to fight in September. Then it'll say they're looking to fight in October. And now look at it. Now they're saying they're far apart on money. So, you know, that's why I purposefully pick and choose. You can call me a cherry picker, but I pick and choose the pieces of content and news that I want to lend credence to, because I've worked hard for my brand. You guys know that for years. And I'm not here to help build boxing on falsehoods. Again, if you can make Lomachenko versus Teofimo, it's not undisputed because there's a franchise champion involved. You know, so Devin Haney, as long as he has that belt, the winner of that fight would have to see Devin Haney. But that's why I didn't keep up with every time that an article came out or every time that sources said that Lomachenko Teofimo. Just show me the fight. That's all you have to do. Tell me what. As soon as you give me the venue, the date, the time, how to watch it, then I'll start promoting the fight. You know, and this is precisely why Teofimo. I'm not even mad at him, you know, because 1.2 million or whatever he's been offered. Top Rank last year had a fight in Philly, which was a good unification, but both guys reportedly got $1.5 million, and that was confirmed by ESPN. I know we're in a pandemic, I get that, but Teofimo, why would he get less than Vodstick versus Beterbiev, which was a good fight, but they weren't big names. And Philly, you know, I don't know, that was just kind of a weird location to put that fight for Top Rank. You know, I don't know of like a big Russian or Ukrainian community in Philly, and that's where the fight happened. But needless to say, we seen the fight, and one of the fighters retired. Vodstick, he ended up retiring after that. So, you know, I'm not playing boxing's game, bro. You just got to produce the content and put together the fights. We keep hearing people like Golden Boy and Top Rank primarily. Surprisingly, we haven't heard this from the PBC as much about people complaining about purses and pay cuts and stuff like that. We're all in the pandemic. We're all in it together. But you've heard a variety of people with Top Rank and Golden Boy particularly talk about stall outs, and you know, Canelo is being asked to take a pay cut on DAZN, things of this nature. And the reality is, you can have all the financial woes and you want. The fans don't care about that. The fans want to know it's a sport, it's entertainment. They want to know when you're coming back with the heat. And if you can't produce and you can't do that, then it is what it is. And you know, your ratings will suffer. Somehow, some way, the UFC is putting together clever and very good matches. You know, Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. I'm looking forward to that. That's a great fight. They've been going back and forth on social media for quite some time now, right? At each other's fights, taunting the other person, right? DC versus Stipe Miocic. That's another great fight. It's a trilogy, wraps up the series. They both won one of the first two fights. They just announced another fight. Justin Gaethje versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Rest in peace to Nurmagomedov's father. These are all great fights for ESPN Plus. So it's going to be hurtful for the Top Rank on ESPN on the same platform. Dana White's already taken shots at Bob Arum, but this was the biggest fight that Top Rank, that I know of, that Top Rank had, you know, sewed up. So if now they're far apart on money, if this can't be salvaged and Teofimo fights, you know, somebody else, then, you know, ultimately the fans don't care why it didn't happen. What they're going to remember is the fact that it didn't happen. Again, we keep hearing certain parties like Top Rank and Golden Boy particularly, at least from what I've heard, talk about pay cuts and the pandemic and, you know, these sob stories, but we're not hearing about the networks or the promoters taking a pay cut. You know, we keep hearing that the fighters need to bow down, and I think overall, over time, fighters are getting smarter. They know their worth. Teofimo, he has a bigger brand. He's coming off an exciting performance with Richard Comey where he knocked him out. So how is he not getting similar money to Lomachenko? You know, see, this is the problem with old media, and new media has called this from the beginning. Old media wants to make whoever they want to be lit. And that's not how boxing is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will say, oh, Ryan Garcia, he hasn't fought nobody. Why should he get more than 200K? But Virgil Ortiz got 250,000 to fight Samuel Vargas, and truth be told, he hasn't fought a big name either. But the difference is Ryan Garcia's branding is a lot stronger, and you can tell by his Instagram followers. So why would the guy, if they both haven't fought anyone and that's a wash, why would the guy with the bigger platform and the bigger brand get less money? Same thing with Teofimo. He's doing Fortnite dances and Heisman Trophy dances, and he's been lit. He's coming off a great performance. Truth be told, Vodstick was coming off of, when he fought Better Biev, right? He was coming off a performance against some random guy in Philly, like Gumbo or something like that. And Better Biev, I don't even remember who his last fight was, but I remember Teofimo. So how's Teofimo gonna make less? What? Let me guess. Because we're in a pandemic. But then how are you giving so much to Lomachenko? How is he getting so much more? Because he got belts? I mean, look at how he got it. One's a franchise champion. You know, he got the other belt. Well, he got the belt from Luke Campbell, which was a vacant belt vacated by Mikey Garcia. So it's just looking bad kind of for old media. The finances don't seem even Steven. You see what I'm saying? So ultimately it's about the content you can produce. I was looking forward to Lomachenko versus Teofimo, but if they reach this snag and they can't resolve it, then that's not going to be a good look, no matter what. It's not going to be. Top Rank's schedule has been very light. It's been riddled with 19 Rona fails. Gerald Big Baby Miller failed a drug test. Jamel Herring's fight got canceled twice. Michaela Mears' fight got canceled. Shakur doesn't seem anywhere near fighting a big name anytime soon. You know, they're not talking about Shakur and Berchelt. Shakur versus Valdez. There's been some upsets. So the most anticipated Top Rank fight to me was clearly Teofimo versus Lomachenko unification. So if they can't get it over the line over money, then it's gonna be bad. And at what point do the networks and the promoters during this pandemic have to start taking a pay cut? You know, it's like this whole live crowd has really complicated things. And this is just my honest opinion. I also feel Top Rank, the way they've branded certain guys or lack thereof, like Terrence Crawford, ESPN, they haven't gave him the red carpet treatment. So now I can see why they have some issues. That's why I'm not partaking in the games that boxing wants to play. Like, I see the headlines. I'm not making videos about certain things if there's no weight, no legs behind it. Like, I've heard rumors that Terrence Crawford might fight against Manny Pacquiao recently. And these keep coming up. Oh, it could happen, and he could be back in October, November. But Top Rank has played this game before. With Pacquiao, they say, oh, Pacquiao could fight Danny Garcia. He could fight Broner. I'm talking about when Pacquiao was with Top Rank. And then they would make Pacquiao versus Algieri. Pacquiao Jesse Vargas. Pacquiao Rios coming off a loss. Pacquiao versus whoever else, Bradley 3. But they're talking about Floyd and talking about, Lucas Matisse at that time, or Pacquiao and Amir Khan in Dubai, and it would never be that. So I'm not, you just got to show me. Teofimo Lomachenko, good. Let's see it. LSI. Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford. They were on the same label. They were both with Top Rank at, a couple years ago, and the fight never happened. So in a pandemic, overseas, abroad, in a kingdom, with the immediate tie to Top Rank that I know of, Daniel Kinahan, that was living in Dubai, they said he's on the lam and he's fleeing. So that was kind of like the connect and the gateway to work with certain people, and we don't even know his positioning at this moment. So why would I believe that Terrence Crawford is going to fight Manny Pacquiao abroad in a totally in-house fight like Teofimo and Lomachenko is falling apart with the no crowd, with the pandemic, and over finances? It just doesn't seem, to me, it doesn't seem highly likely. So I would hope to enter an era in boxing and get back to the olden days where announcements weren't really made unless it was, a for sure thing. But it's getting too crazy in the world of boxing to the point of it's becoming a big jumbo circus, like Barnum and Bailey, like Ringling Brothers. It's becoming a circus. It's like we keep hearing the same rehashing and then it don't happen. Teofimo and Lomachenko could fight, dun dun dun, plastered everywhere. You know, old media, they all talk about how the fight could happen in September. Then they say it's done. Then they say it's not done. Then they say it's finalized. Then they say it's moving to October. And now the latest is it might not even happen this year at all unless they can get this money squared away. And it's funny because Angel Garcia has an interview with Teofimo. Well, it's not an interview. It's just a video. It was all caught. They were all at a fight. And Angel Garcia says, you should be teamed up with Al, or you should work with Al, talking about Al Heyman. And the funny thing is that when PBC came about, everybody sued Al Heyman, said he was the cancer to boxing, etc. But Showtime somehow, some way got Charlo, both brothers, on a pay-per-view. They're getting Tank Davis to go back down and weight to 130 to have a big fight with Leo Santa Cruz. And they have a hell of a lineup. And I don't see the fighters complaining over purses and money as much, but they said Al Heyman was the cancer. But you look at other companies and they've had so many woes. Like, look at Canelo. We're 6 weeks out, and he still hasn't announced his opponent. His lawyer is saying that DAZN has, blocked, and they're not fulfilling their obligations. It's just looking crazy. You know, for the last several months, we've heard Teofimo Lomachenko could happen with a crowd, without a crowd, and now they're saying they're far apart on money. You know, it's not a good look for boxing. UFC, like I said, somehow, some way they're getting it done, and it's not going to be acceptable for fans. You're going to lose some fans when important, pertinent fights don't make it across the finish line. You know what I mean? Or don't happen when they should, or happen too late. All these types of things hurt boxing, and ultimately, I don't think the fans care. They don't. Whether it's a crowd or not, we got to see these fights. You know what I mean? If you could make Charlo both basically in a unification, then somebody, the network, gotta take the hit, or Top Rank, or the fighter, something's gotta give. But the most important thing is to stay afloat. The fight has to happen. So, like I said, this is why I didn't play the game of going back and forth every single time there was a headline. Like, it'd be on Bleacher Report that Teofimo and Lomachenko was done. So if it was done, if done is done, and not done is not done, period. Like, it's just becoming all across boxing a circus and unprofessional when you see this type of behavior. Ryan Garcia is claiming his fight's done, then reports come out saying it's not done. Eddie Hearn confirms those reports and says we're not far away, but it's not done. So why is Ryan Garcia announcing it? People were saying that Teofimo and Loma was done and signed, sealed, and delivered, and it was done for September. Then they said October, and now the information we're hearing is that it might fall apart, and Teofimo could fight a lesser op. Lomachenko could fight a lesser op. It's just looking too crazy, and I'm not with that. So if you're coming to my channel, come expecting the truth, and it is what it is. Top Rank, ESPN, they got to figure it out. But if they miss this one and don't get it done, it's just going to hurt their schedule. Let me know what you guys think. Sign up for ESPN Plus, link in the description. Holla at the boy. Let me know what you guys think of the fight potentially falling apart. I guess we have to wait for the next order of business. But yeah, all the back and forth. Ultimately, fans care about the big fights, pandemic or not, crowd or not. So somebody's got to budge, or your schedule will falter. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Come and watch my fight." Floyd Mayweather, "Easy work. I'm rich." And Manny Pacquiao, "Yes, it's up to my promoter. Just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego, signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.